But you've got other light heavyweights in your stable. So where do they fit into the picture, or do they not fit into the picture?
Well, of course. I mean, our job is to develop opposition for Sergey Kovalev. One of the light heavyweights in our stable is Nadjib Mohammedi. He's going to be his next opponent because it's mandated by the IBF. Or Pascal's next opponent if things were to go badly for us. So that's where that's going.
So Mohammedi's next no matter what?
Yeah, the IBF, if he wants to hold on to the IBF title, which he does, he has to fight him next.
You mean if Kovalev wants to? So you wouldn't advocate for Kovalev to drop the belt and then you'd have two fighters with belts?
No, because as Evander Holyfield said many times, and I sat there and heard him say it, everybody says the titles don't matter, but I seem to make a lot more money when I have them all. So Sergey's goal is to win them all and keep them all. And then, you're the man. And then the guys who fight you, they make more money because you're the man.
And you've been advocating to have Sergey in position to challenge Adonis as mandatory.
Yes.
Do you think that's ever going to happen? I know you're hoping for it too.
We have some steps. Sergey has to win on Saturday, and then he has to beat Mohammedi. And once we get there, sometime this summer, the WBC will order them to fight each other. And then it will be up to Adonis Stevenson and the manager of the year to decide if they want to do it.
Speaking of, do you anticipate that you would be able to find some way to work with Al Heyman after all of the?
Of course, I've worked with Don King. I've worked with Bob Arum. When I was young, it sounds so old. When we started in our business, the main events established itself by suing Don King and the WBC and the WBA and Bob Arum to get what was rightfully ours according to the rules, to get our fighters mandatory. So Evander Holyfield got the opportunity to fight with the heavyweight title because we won a lawsuit with the WBC. I was just up there hugging the guy from the WBC. I was hugging the guy from the WBA. We're all friends. I have made more fights with Don King personally than a lot of other promoters. And we find a way to work with our enemies. We have to.
The issue seems to be in some ways, though, that he looks like he's trying to consolidate it into one sort of solitary boxing league of some kind.
It does certainly look that way.
Then how do you deal with that?
I don't really think I need to deal with much because I'm looking at his plan and it's got so many flaws in it, so many holes in it, I can drive a truck through them all. So.
Drive a truck. Let's hear about it.
Are you still hopeful?
I don't need to talk.
I'm sorry. Are you still hopeful for the Adonis fight, or is it just about the belts for Sergey?
Of course I'm not. Look, number one, it's about the belts. Number two, who wouldn't want to see that spectacle of him fighting Stevenson, especially here after presumably he's become a star here with his performance tomorrow night. The boxing fan of me wants to see it. I'd love to see it, and we'd love to do it. I am well aware of the political roadblocks, but I'll say this to you. Think about it. A little more than a year ago, when that fight with Stevenson got canceled, did any of you think that we'd be standing here today after he has beaten Norbert Hopkins and is about to get into a ring with Jean Pascal? Or did everybody think, oh boy, he's really screwed now because, Al Heyman killed his fight? Because I thought at that moment we were really screwed. And look what happened. So I've learned, I knew it before, but this just reinforced it. This sport, stuff changes every minute. And you've got to be ready to move on your feet. You've got to be ready to, like the fighters, move with the punches.
Rope-a-dope.
Yeah, Bertrand Russell said luck is the residue of design. Okay? We're lucky because we plan. And I've got 15 plans in my head.